The Desert Island Discs with Flavia on Capital FM. Fresh hits for Uganda.
Welcome to Desert Island Discs. It's always a pleasure every single Sunday to unpack someone's story. And sometimes you get people, I know they don't ask people's ages, but sometimes you get a guest and you want to say, but how old are you? But sometimes also the story reveals who they are in studios. This one has an interesting reason why their business is called the way it is, but I will leave that discretion later on in his story. Chris is the name GALUKANDE.
Exactly.
That's how it is, yeah?
Yes, please.
Chris, you are the CEO of X Events.
Yes.
But if they're looking for it anyway, it's XCY. And so the events is events or it's production?
Events.
Okay.
Yep.
Not video production
It is.
or visual, or mix.
Yeah, we mix.
Mm-hmm.
It's a combination of things.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a combination of things, both videography and photography.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
All right.
That part of Chris. Normally I ask my guests to go back in their childhood where they're comfortable, and then we start the story from there. Tulagawa.
To the listeners out there, it's a pleasure being here. It's a pleasure meeting you in person. Christopher GALUKANDE is my name, born and raised in Nankulabye. I love putting the hashtag Chiwunya.
Why?
Chiwunya is Nankulabye, down there. It's a Waraj suburb. You know, there are places where you grow from, and once you say, oh, you're the one here, people are like, oh, you made it. You just very proud because at least God made me through, and here I am today. I call myself Mtabani wa Mama Tofa. Yeah, I love using that hashtag name. Such narratives keep us down to earth. They remind you of who you are.
Yeah.
And having these names when you get up, X, people call you X, but they don't know you are once Tofa.
They call you boss. Don.
Boss. I don't know what's your village name.
I don't actually have one. The mwana wa site nyonyo, but I can get an in. I can forge. But I don't actually have that. But and I don't have a name. I always tell Ponzamanya Gange, they're both from my great grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I took both the names. But when you say there are people who grew up in the ghettos, and when they tell you their childhood, they probably had the happiest, most cheerful, exciting childhood. Yes, now when you look at it, you're like, how did I survive there? But when you're growing up in it, it doesn't feel like you need to, run so much. Was it the same for you, or you were always saying, any day now, I am living?
I think in our era, kids of the 90s and 80s, we grew in the same style.
Yes.
When you talk about the stories and the words we had, no matter where you grew up from,
it was the same.
We have the same games, we had the same way of life. I was talking to my friend and I told her, we used to have these guns made of yams. You know those yams.
Why did you have guns?
You don't remember those guns as kids?
Who were you shooting?
We used to have those guns made from yams, yam leaves, and we could be like, remember we used to watch Rainbow by that time.
Yeah.
So we could, Commando, the movie was Commando. So we could get those guns. In the evening when you're showering, that is when you get the itching and all that.
Yeah, from playing outside
in the grass. So it was just a humble start as a kid.
Are you from a big family?
Okay. A very small family. We were born two from my mom.
Oh, okay.
Just two boys and raised by a mom.
Mama Tofa.
How
did she manage?
My mom wasn't always around. She was a traveling woman. So, but we were there. She could provide everything for us.
Yes.
So we grew up. I keep telling people, Nze mumbozi yange temuli mwawo nenzije Kampala.
Really?
Nankulabye. My dad was born in Nankulabye. My grandmother in Nankulabye. Everyone. So yes, small family. Yeah. But being in a ghetto, of course, each day that comes up, you're a happy soul because you don't expect much.
More. Did you do school? What did you do for school?
I went to Our Lady of Fatima.
Somewhere nearby?
Nearby, Chiwunya still. But then I wanted to be a priest. I wanted to be a priest.
Actually, my shock isn't that you wanted to be a priest. My shock is that, let's say out of 10 guests, 8 of my guests, if I mean, wanted to be priests.
Yeah.
What was in the water back in the day?
Now, you see, priesthood was respected a lot.
Yeah.
You could see how they bow at the altar. You see the altar boys having that, I don't know how it's called, that fire thing.
Yeah, with the smoke, the incense.
Smoke,
yes.
Yeah. So I used to love it. I'm like, But then as I'm growing up, I was like, why don't they put weed in that thing?
Oh dear.
Why don't they?
Oh dear.
I'm like,
I can see why you didn't become a priest.
I'm like, I went for priesthood. As I was doing it, I went to St. Mary's in Sumba. That is in GALUKANDE. I met Father Wenvu the late. But then I failed because of one reason.
Not the weed in the incense?
No.
Okay.
That was,
you never brought up that idea?
No.
Okay.
It was, my parents weren't married like church.
Wait, that's a prerequisite for people to become priests?
Your parents must be married, church
yeah.
and Catholic, you know.
Oh, yes.
So my dad was an Anglican. My mom was a Catholic. But I wanted to be a priest because I went to Our Lady of Fatima, St. Mary's. So because you nurtured in that style, you end up, aiming for that. And you see the way these people are taken care of. When in those parishes, you'll understand, these guys are like kings. They don't do anything. Their cars are washed. What?
And you're like, this is the life.
The life. They bring things and at the altar. They bring goats. They bring fruits.
I know.
They bring.
I'm a Catholic.
So you're like, oh, these people. And then another thing, I could see priests do wine. So I'm like, these guys are living a luxurious life.
But how much of the wine were they doing? It wasn't.
Priests take wine.
Oh yes, they do drink
and beer.
alcohol. Yeah.
And pork whenever they want.
The people listening are like, how many minutes are we into the interview? We have gone so far. But that means mom was supportive of this priesthood dream. She didn't bother what he wanted.
She didn't know. She didn't even know I was interested. So it's after I called and I'm like, were you guys married? Because I remember she had a wedding and I was the peg boy. And but Eluamala was the artist, but I don't even remember how it was.
So you asked what
the
was
dad
this? Who was the man she was standing next to?
I don't remember. So
what was her answer?
She was like, I'll tell you when I come back. She wasn't around.
Oh gosh.
Then I was. So I had to channel.
That dream, it died.
It was shattered and then I just went on with life.
Wow. I want to hear what your first song choice is going to be.
My number one is Saha's Bidi Bidi song.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that song so much. It speaks volumes to me. I just love Saha because of the background as well.
Yeah. Grass to grace.
Grass to grace.
Wagalango to the wali Nenkunyumiza biri bali woluli Mukamreda wetu mwenya wepe wana Bera mbilo wozako Wesunanga konga muna kuvako Mukwano Munange tomanchideno Nyambako mukwano Mkwakala biri Wankola ubi Waduka luli Wakala biri Wankola ubi Waduka luli Omukwano kumanga Mbako chitoli nchawa Abanji bagenda Abanji mubajane bechanga Zengambali nembaga Embaga njireta tewechanga Kwagala nyo Singo chimanyi Sewanonda yo Nonzija mubali Neva mubali Mukwano Munange tomanyi chirieno Nyambako mukwano Kwagala Wankola ubi Waduka luli Wakala biri Wankola ubi Waduka luli Wagalango tude wali Nenkunyumiza biri bali woluli Mukamreda wetu mwenya wepe wana Mera mbilo wozako Wesunanga konga muna kuvako Mukwano Munange tomanchideno
with Flavia on Capital FM. Fresh hits for Uganda.
It's Desert Island Disc, and the first choice was King Saha, Bidi Bidi. You said you just like King Saha. Well, his story and how he became who he is. You said you were two boys. Mom wasn't always there. I want to sort of, you say it very comfortably, like, even when I said, how did she decide whether you be a priest? You said she didn't even know. So in Luganda, right? You sort of took care of yourself.
But Mom was there financially. She could travel a lot as a single mother. She could hustle a lot
to make sure you financially taken care of. Yes,
but
yes.
She could make sure she's there whenever need arises. You couldn't feel her out of play. You get, she was always there, but not physically a lot, as morning, evening.
Yes.
But you couldn't miss her. At least, in a week she could appear. You couldn't miss her.
And you two would stay alone?
We could stay alone in the house with the caretaker. You get, I should say, my mom was okay financially.
But also that says a lot if you, as children, did not feel like you missed her.
We'd never miss her.
That means when she was there, she was fully...
She was there. Yes, I remember one statement she could say, we used to have these jam tins.
Yeah.
That jam zester, but then it was zester. You don't have to see the bottom of the tin. Make me aware before it's even half.
What a mother.
So we never lacked as
That's
kids.
Good.
We never lacked because she made sure we don't get into contact with the vices that are in place around us.
Yeah.
So she was there.
She did her best, honestly. And so the seminary obviously is not going to be an option at that point because obviously Mami Agama, I will tell you. So then you leave. What is the dream now?
After school? After school, I went to Mpoma Royal. I came out. So from there, I have my dad, who's a soldier. He told me, you know what? Remember, by that time, there are cadets that were coming out. Yeah. Cadets were being paid 3 million by then. So my dad told me, you know what? Let's go, you do army. Then from army, I'll make sure I connect you. You'll have some good place. I'm like, I'm joining army, but I'm not leaving Kampala. So he said yes.
Because were you meant to continue with school at this point? And this was
I was in Form 6 vacation.
Okay.
But I felt I needed money. Now
and you were free.
I was free, So I went to Chankwanzi. I started. So I met Shaban Bantariza.
Yeah.
I asked him one question. If you want to leave the army, can you exit at your own will? He said never.
We all know the answer.
He said never.
Or the army till you die.
So I said, okay, I'm going into something. Because now they're just teaching you nationalism and all patriotic things. Yeah. So I'm like, before I go to Kabamba and anything else, I need to first understand what I'm going into. So he said, you cannot go out, what. We sang in the evening, mchaka. So they bring you at the assembly and they're like, who are those willing to go? Continue. I was the first person to say, I'm out. I'm out of this ruckus.
Not because you didn't like it, but because you could never exit.
I could never exit. You get. So I left. I came back to Nankula still.
Yeah.
I told Mom, I'm back. So there I made a saloon, small businesses, libraries that started in Kampala. My mom got me money. I made a very big library. So everything wasn't going on so bad and not so good. 50-50.
You're surviving.
Yes. Amidst that, I forgot I had submitted at the university.
But Chris, Essex VAC means you submitted at university.
When I went to Chankwanz and all that.
Your life, your life sort of changes.
So they told me, I went to MOBS. By then, procurement was the biggest course here. I got an A in economics at Mpoma. Taking you back, I'd done PCB math at first. So I have a friend called Sam Magala. Sam told me, you're the only boy doing PCB. I'm saying, so what?
Yeah, also I'm like,
are you going to be a failure in life? What? So time reached because of peer pressure. I ended up shading history, economics, and geography.
You wanted to do physics, chemistry, biology, maths. And someone said...
My good friend, my best friend could sleep. He was under my bed.
What combination was he doing before we...
He was doing Hague art. So my mom told me I should be a doctor. Virtue of everything.
PCB math would have really done the thing.
And I was so good at biology, very good. Now, things are back. They're on the notice board. They know they have 25 students doing sciences. They're seeing 24. But they're like, we have one boy.
Who we know.
The boy wasn't on the list.
You are really ill-advised.
You get?
Where's Magala at this point?
Magala is there in town. Magala, you know.
We say hello, but
whenever I see Magala, I'm like, you're a bad friend. Magala is even up to life when we grew up.
Yeah.
Towards my wedding, Magala ate the money.
Magala, we have said hello, but really, it's Magala who needs career guidance.
So from there, I came.
So you added history, or you changed completely?
I changed, but now it was too late, and I didn't know anything about history.
Yes.
So economics was like the blood.
Yeah.
So what I did, I'm like, okay, these are objectives. I just circle. I read only UNEB books. Only
to sort of prepare.
So I got an A. So I came back. I went to MOBS. So when I went to MOBS, I sat in the lecture room. The lecturer came and said, today we're going to study office practice as a course unit.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So they started how they use a stapling machine.
No way.
I'm telling you.
At uni?
Yes. The ways of saying no in communication skill.
Although this sound like small things, but people get them wrong these days.
You get. There was small, year one. Now,
basics.
The worst part, I didn't do orientation. So when I sat in the lecture room, things that teaching, I was like, I cannot be in this place. You cannot tell me how to pull a chair. But as I've grown, when I was growing out to this age I am and the life I've moved, these things are important.
Very.
You find someone pulling a chair with the noise in a conference and you're like, hello?
You remember, this is why they were teaching.
This is why they're teaching us.
Yes.
You never know who you'll become in future. Ways of saying no.
Yeah.
Polite ways.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I cannot. You've said no, but in a polite way. As a youth, I didn't know these things would help. Right now, I'm looking at them and I was like, so I left. I talked to my mom. I'm like, I'm not doing MOBS. That paid for everything, hostel and what. I said no. So I said, okay, now here comes Central Lens University.
So you were leaving without knowing where Plan B was?
I said I'm not doing...
Because you really have lived a free life.
A free life, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me go to Central Lens University. Central Lens was so hot. It had these Banyaranda girls, Tanzanian girls.
Forget Magala, you're the one who needs career guidance.
Days of Central Lens. Yeah?
Yeah.
It was a hot comb. It's not these village hot combs that and bring smoke. Shh, it was that. Yeah?
Yeah.
You could see people, you could see celebrities. The way you're seeing this university that is New Victoria right now, like
the popularity,
the celebrities. So people of this age will like that style.
True.
It gives you all the best atmosphere for you to, do what you want. So I had evening classes. I stood in for Mr. Central Lens. They were giving a car.
What had you gone to study? Even
IT.
if they were smoking hot girls, what had you gone to study? Okay.
So I was so good at IT. I don't know how, but I ended up doing IT.
Yeah.
Because of the economics, I wasn't allowed to do IT. But then they told me, if you can try it in year one and do well, you will. Now, I didn't do orientation. So I thought, in third year, when you look at my transcript, I have A's in third year.
That's when you got serious.
I was like, in year 3, third term.
That's when I will wake up.
I'll wake up. Because I didn't go through the process.
When I'm about to leave university.
Hey.
You thought the papers only show the end. You didn't know they show the whole
A-level in third term.
Yes.
So year 3. So year 2, year 3, then I left before graduation. I went to Istanbul, Turkey. That is where I went. I studied business and everything. So I continued studying online at Central Lens. I finished, but I did not graduate. I don't know why you cannot graduate. You're not here in Uganda.
You can't?
You cannot. It has to be a physical appearance. Yes, to give you... graduations in Uganda is about the hat.
The dress code.
The dress code. How can you say you've graduated without the hat?
And not to show off. It feels to me like, one, you were very naturally very smart, very intelligent. I don't know, did you realize it immediately or you just went through life?
I've seen it when I became a CEO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see how the natural inborn intelligence that you do have, but also to how you sort of swing where life swings. And that's not something many of us are able. We like to be in control and see where everything will come from and be, but that's
Many
not
people
you.
say I'm selfish.
Really?
Because me, I don't care about lots of things.
You just go.
I don't. You can do something and I'm like, that is what God has offered. I don't
But
care
that's
a
not
lot.
selfish, is it?
That is what people think, that I care about myself.
Ah.
You get
right.
that you can do something and I'm like, why is this person doing this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it doesn't matter that much.
I don't get attached to lots of things. I don't.
Right. I guess that could be that. What would be our second song choice right now?
My song is Bwagambo Nova by Misach. Yeah, this song puts me in a place of my good friends. I don't love saying songs. You see in Uganda, we have people who do amapiano, let me say.
Yeah.
You just find them shaking their heads. But when you ask them, okay, what does this song mean? I'm a kind of person that listens to a song that touches and speaks volumes to me.
Meaning, yeah.
Yes, so Bwagamba by Papa speaks a lot to me. It has that part where the people we grew and we thought they're better in life, and we've turned out to be better than them.
True.
You know, some people thought we wouldn't, but now someone calls you and they're like, oh, bro. You know, that is why I'm a person that doesn't really take lots of advisors. Because when I was broke and poor, you didn't advise me on how to spend
I survived without
on
you.
my money. Now why are you telling me to build a house? Why are you telling me, oh, Chris, you have to use your money like this? As who? So
I hear
that
you.
is it.
Jangu tuwaye, jangu tunyumyemu. Natandika okuyiya obulamu nga ndi muto myaka 16. Nze ne nyigira ekibuga noonya omukisa gwange Mukama gwe yampa. Bingi byayogerwa, bangi bawakanya. Nze ne bangoba ne watata nga bo bamanyi nayonooneka kyagwa. Naye Katonda yaliwo mu makubo gange. Nasulako amakaya, nasulako mu bbaala, towakana ne tutambuza ebigere. Mwekuba nekuba, naye Katonda yaliwo mu makubo gaffe. Ulira Abasamaliya be nasanga mwena mwebale, abe mu kibi mwatendeka mwebale, wabula wancapo musipi. Bannange bwe twazirunda, mukulike nnyo okugendo, naye Katonda sebo Katonda bwagamba onooba, teri agamba tobe, bwagamba onogaggawala, teri agamba togaggawale, bwagamba onozaala, teri agamba tozaale, bwagamba onotuuka, teri agamba totuuke. Bangi bambuuza okikoze otya okukikuba emyaka gyonna. Kino kyendi tekivudde ku mukeeka, kivudde mu kutoba nnyo, okusula n'okusiiba, okukola obutaweera, okwewa ekitiibwa, okuwa abantu ekitiibwa, okugumiikiriza, okukola emikwano, obwesigwa n'okutya Katonda. Entalo ezitanyamba, ezo sizirwana, nazirekera Mukama yalina amaanyi gange, nze ndi munafu. Bwagamba onooba, teri agamba tobe, bwagamba onogaggawala, teri agamba togaggawale, bwagamba onozaala, teri agamba tozaale, bwagamba onotuuka, teri agamba totuuke.
Desert Island Discs on Capital FM. Fresh hits for Uganda.
It's Desert Island Discs. Our second song choice was from Papa, Message Samakula. And I like how you said that when I was broke, nobody was giving me advice on how to be broke. So nobody should advise me on how to spend my money when I have it. So I was saying before the break that you come off as a naturally intelligent person, and also as someone who doesn't micromanage everything in your life. That's rare, because people who are highly intelligent like to see their 5-year plan, 10-year plan. Next year I will be here. That doesn't sound like you.
I don't. I don't have plans for life.
That you don't get scared by that?
No. And COVID times really got me to be like, yes, I have control over this.
Yeah.
People back then would be, I'm so busy.
Yeah.
But then COVID humbled lots of people. If you manage to be humble and make it through life for the 2 years we are closed, you can.
Yeah.
Me, I don't have future plans. I didn't know I was going to meet you this week. I didn't know I was going to see you in life. I could see you from miles. I could read your stories. You inspired me on one of your stories. Nice. I was telling my friend. I wish I'll tell you that off air.
Okay. But yes, what you're saying is that you can't predict it, so why bother?
Why bother? The Bible I read, there's a verse that says, who adds anything in their life when they worry?
Yeah, nothing. Eh?
Nothing.
Yeah. So you went to St. Lawrence, you were doing IT, and then also you had traveled. When you said traveled at first, I thought you were going to travel for business.
No.
But it was to study.
I relocated.
Ah, okay.
I left Uganda, went to Turkey, finished school from there. I went to Istanbul University. I didn't go to university as someone that was admitted.
Okay.
No. I could just go to the university, sit in a lecture room.
Okay.
Yes.
They had no record of you?
No. They didn't even up to now.
But, no, your freestyle is a bit too much. So, what classes were you showing up for?
Photography and videography.
You just show up?
Yes. It's like these universities.
But Chris, how do you leave a country, your country, relocate to another place, make the effort to enter a class and not to register? I
didn't have the money to.
Oh, okay. So it was down to finances.
Yeah, I was there as someone that was going to hustle. It's like let me say, those girls and boys we see, let me see, in Arabic countries, Oman, where, and you're like, okay, I'm here, but there is a class that goes on there.
Right.
Maybe it's a massage class, maybe.
To learn a skill.
Maybe we have a swimming pool here. I can learn how to swim. Maybe they're teaching these kids. Let me join.
I also join.
You get. So you become an expert.
Understand. Yeah.
So because I could pass through that university, the train passes through. So I could really go there once in a while, get that. So I wasn't admitted. Many people are like, but Chris, when did you go to the university? I had my passion and my goals. Yeah. You get. So I could go there, get the knowledge. And then up to now, me when I attend sessions of maybe we're having projects we are shooting and CEOs are talking, usually I work for BAT and I hear the CEO talking. I get to hear whatever they are talking. So that is how I learned photography and videography.
Right.
Yes.
You said it's sort of like it was a passion, right?
It was a passion.
Is a passion.
Up to now.
Yeah.
Up to now, it's a passion. It is something I really like and love. I've turned passion into business. You get. Sometimes it's always good to understand that this is where I get food. May I call my business, it's my mom, it is my dad. Yeah. You get. So anyone that really tries to sabotage, I'm looking at you as an enemy. Like, this is where life
my bread and butter is here.
So I value it. Yeah.
So you moved back. At what point?
So after a period of time, my mom passed on. Oh. So my mom was sick. She was in Greece, Athens. So the doctors called me. European doctors are funny. They can tell you you're going to lose someone in 6 months. Yeah. So she had cancer. So I came back to Uganda. Me coming back to Uganda, by the way, it wasn't about my mom.
Oh, okay.
I had a woman I got. So my woman...
I don't know if you should tell us that. We might be throwing our radios away at this point. But mom wasn't sick here in Uganda.
Yeah, she was.
Okay.
She was
okay.
back there. So I came back. You know when you're moving in with someone. The way
wait, you were moving in?
Yes.
Okay.
I was settling with someone.
Yeah.
So reaching here, because I wasn't used to Uganda, the only time I was used to Uganda was when I was a little man. I didn't know anything. I didn't know much. Even when I was a young kid, I could travel with my mom a lot. Whenever she's going, I could, as an adult. So I came back here. You have money, a little money, so the excitement and all that,
there.
The relationship couldn't work out.
But you have a little money. You like each other. You're going to live. What could possibly be a problem?
There is that excitement.
From the other person or from you or both?
Me, I should say, because she was a little older,
right.
She had seen it. There is that age when you're still excited about life. Yeah. You've just seen this new car. You know, those days of high table, you remember.
So that means it wasn't about not liking the person, but you were not going to settle down because you were still seeing so many
up and down.
Yeah.
You get, I was excited. I'm just back in Uganda. I could hang out day and night. I was like, okay. Then when mom passed on, I saw life in black and white. I'm like, a habu kid. So mom came back. I did what? So bringing back the body, those that have brought back the body from abroad know what it means, paying the medical bills. So I bought a house. I had to sell it off to bring my mom's body back because I couldn't.
That bad.
Yeah, it couldn't settle well with my heart not bringing the body back. But then during the burial time, that song of Bugembe's song came into my head. Zijukire said that when mommy agenze, I don't know if you know that song. I didn't mourn for my mom. I didn't even cry. After that song coming in my head, I was like, but God has given me this lady for all this time. I will only be selfish. That is where the selfishness comes from that people think I have. Me, I see things in a way that God has put this. He has his reasons. So I didn't cry. But I tell people silent tears hold the loudest noise.
Yes.
Some of us don't cry to see tears, but deep inside.
It cuts deeper. That's why it's silent. The one that surfaces is the one where, you make the noise. And
so I was looking at people. I'm looking at my money going with these funeral guys. From nowhere, I was like, okay, now I need to focus. That is how events comes to big reality.
Right.
Because when I came back, it was there. I met these boys. We started, but then it comes to reality after that.
To be serious about it.
Focus on life. You have no back point. When you're playing cards and all the cards are done, no pick and play, sijui what.
That's why you had reached.
The deck is in your hands.
Sometimes they say chess, not checkers. What's our third song choice? Because you said something that I want to return to, and I don't want to even tempt you to forget it.
The song is called Ebisera, still by Sarah. Yeah.
It's a good one.
Ebisera.
Reminiscing about...
I'm an old soul. I'll have looking way back. If you don't focus on where you come from, like Bob Marley says, you can never understand where you're going.
Yeah. True.
So Ebisera speaks a lot to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kulaba simbi olisite we yagala baya nini ani atakulaba oline banno mwe yagala naye ani atabalaba kukikubo kye wamwe ng'okkirira ani atakulaba Mama nalukuduka Sha anya takulaba Chipale chase no mchiyembe Anya takulaba kati muli eno mweyagala kubanga mwakikuwa no ebiseera
Desert Island Discs with Flavia on Capital FM. Fresh hits for Uganda.
It's Desert Island Discs. You're with me, Flavia, and we have Chris GALUKANDE of X Events, and he is an old soul because the story, you'd feel like the young people relate to the story, but also there's an age group that also relates to it. But you said after the death of your mom, the seriousness kicked in. I have a friend of mine who lost both parents, and one of the things she always tells me is that I don't have anyone I'm answerable to. So I tend to live my life as I want it. So if I wake up and I want the world to be blue, it's blue. If I want it to be black, it's black. And there's nobody so important enough to make me change my mind, because that person or those people have gone. And when I thought about it, I thought that was so much pain, because imagine going through life without like a sense of, that pillar of direction. Is that how you sort of felt as well, that person who used to be the compass is now gone?
Kinda, but
or is it the opposite, total opposite, that now you had to stand and figure things out?
My mom could send me each week £500 or 600 as upkeep. So you knew you had a turn back point. So at this
there was
point,
some comfort, because somebody will always,
someone is always there. You get. I have my friend called Ricky. I told him, I don't pay insurance for my kids. I pay my own insurance. Reason being, when I get sick, no one will stand in for me. When my kids get sick, I'm there. So my insurance should come fast. Flavia, when you get sick, it's you're the turbine of everything.
Yes.
You get, when these kids fall sick, and
all of us will scramble to make sure
ends meet.
I hear you.
You get.
Yeah.
So my turbine had gone down.
Yes.
So I had to really get to my point. Yeah, that is how I got focused, much focused. And then my mom had those words, Chris, people never knew you'd make it. Please make it in life.
Prove them wrong. Yeah.
And I have that voice note on WhatsApp. Each day things are not turning out, I listen to it. And I'm like, bro, wake up, go hustle. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed to ask, but in the beginning you said you were two boys.
Yeah.
What about your brother?
He's in German.
Oh, okay.
I last saw him like 2 weeks back after 10 years.
What? But do you talk?
We talk once in a while after 15 years. When the mom passed on, he took his own direction.
Okay.
Now, this boy, for him, he was mommy's boy.
He was younger than you.
When mom passed on, he took your friend's version. He does life the way he wants.
Yeah.
He can wake up and says, today I want to smoke, tomorrow I want to drink, tomorrow.
Yeah.
So for
who will stop me?
Who? But that is a river you have to cross. UB40 have a song called Many Rivers to Cross.
Yeah.
That is a river you have to cross.
True. You have to cross it on your own.
These things of relationships, things of losing yourself, no substance, to the listeners out there, especially the youth, no drug will heal this pain.
Yeah.
No person will heal this pain. No affection you get.
Because some people will say, let me find love.
Let me find love.
Yeah.
You're lying to yourself. You're going to use people for no reason. And I'm talking out of experience.
Yeah.
You have to sit down, pray to your God, and ask one question. If not me, who? Whose parents do you want to die, if not yours?
Yeah.
Who? God chose you, and God takes those he loves. Simple.
You sound very, very matured with those last few words, but you said from experience, because even the way we were speaking about life earlier is that you made your mistakes, and I don't know if you call them mistakes.
The mistakes, and it's growth.
Yeah.
If you don't go through those things, you can never define life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here on this show if I didn't have the story to tell to people. And
right.
Yes, because we're here to motivate people, and then people focus into life, especially the youth. And then there are those grown-up people as well, 60, 50, they're still regretting on the mistakes they made.
Oh, yeah.
Move on, bro.
Just get up and go.
Get up and
I think
go.
it was someone who said their mom said, turn the page. You're reading the same page in the book. Turn
and
it.
Some people you're dealing with don't have staples in their books. Papers are just flying.
That's a good way to was it? I want to know, when you said you started to focus on the business, you also mentioned, and I backtrack there, that it was you and some other people to do the business. When you say focus on the business, what was changing? Were you going to now be more present in the business? What was, if the business was already there?
Okay, initially, how I get to study the next events from that perspective, I was watching a movie, and at the intro, movies have Paramount Pictures presents a Sony production,
Warner Brothers.
Brothers. You see a movie that is having almost 7 people. Big companies are getting together. So I was like, in Uganda, people are doing small studios. Can't we get together and create one mega thing? So I called these guys. There is Eric Dominic, he now works with the speaker. I'm like, we need to get together, formulate something. So when I get back to Uganda, Eric was a little busy. He connected me to a guy called Ricky Patrick. So I met Ricky. Then we started.
Okay.
Many people came on board, different companies. I sold them the idea. We started. But they were myopic still. They didn't see
the bigger picture.
They wanted this quick money. So I decided to focus. Like I told you, one of my mentors, a CPM, Charles Peter, my guy, HT, told me, you have to give business 150%. Beyond 100. 10 years to even buy a shirt out of it. That got into my head. Up to now, I'm still. So I focused more. I studied the challenges in the business, how photographers used to dress, timekeeping. Pius Mwanje, my first mentor, was like, Omutindo. He used to have that word, standard. Keep the standard. He calls it even class. You must have that class. Form is temporary, class is permanent. Keep it there. That is where I am today.
Right. You had, studied in your own way, photography and video, but you were coming back here. If this, let's say, is 10 years ago, right? That was a business, but not the way it is today. You know, there's the industries that took some time to get to the professionalism they are on. How come you're already seeing the bigger picture? I'm being as myopic as your former colleagues also.
I think it's when you travel, you get to change your mindset. Right. In Turkey, you see factories that are in just one room. People are making shoes in 2 rooms. But for us, we have a mindset of a factory that has 10 buildings, acres and acres of land. You see jewelry factory. It is in one small room, but dealing in jewelry that is millions of dollars you get. So I saw that and I was like, we can start, but having a bigger picture in the head.
Right.
That is what I had.
What about life? When you had come back to a country, you said you used to see a bit, but now you are seeing and you are working. What's the good and the bad there?
When I came back with life, life was a little hard. Standards of living in Uganda are high.
Really?
Very high. Especially with things that we don't even take serious. Internet in Uganda is very expensive. Abroad, you don't even consider internet as something.
As a bill.
It is very, very small. So here, internet, then the rent. It is really tricky here.
Maybe it was standard of living also that you were trying to live, because the people who, the reason I say Uganda is okay, because you can live at any level of business, of life.
There is a
anything.
level you can no longer live.
Yes.
You want, you don't.
Yes.
There are standards life will put you, and you cannot.
It's hard to say.
To go down for it. That is why you see some people sleeping outside. They don't get malaria. You go to the village once. So you have typhoid, you have what? But people are in the village taking this.
They've been drinking the same water for years. Actually, someone said that children will eat what they want and survive, and then use the one time they pick something off the floor.
My infections. So that was it. You come back in a system you don't understand. I used to go to Ground Corner, eat offers, and smile. They're only giving you 2 pieces. You don't understand every
every level.
Every level. Yeah. So that was it.
Yeah. What have you learned about business being in the years you've been in? Speak specifically about what business has taught you in Uganda. Because I was still doing anything in this country. It's different from doing it anywhere else.
Number 1, the level of hypocrisy in this country is too high.
What we say is not what we do.
Number 2, the people we work with are always behind you. You might think you're having the same goal, but they're totally different. Especially jobs that you cannot run as a sole proprietor, where you need people.
Yes.
You're planning this person is already selling your idea to someone else. You get. People here are not secretive. You see, people have kept Kentucky recipes and
for
ingredients for years. Here you tell someone your ingredient tomorrow is making another company. That is Uganda for you. The other point is, in Uganda, people feel bad when someone is succeeding. I keep telling my friends, I wish I could drive a small car and in the evening get my other car. People want to see you sad. People want us to be at the same level all the time.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That is why you see here when people will always come when you're having smanye baby shower, call them when you're building a house. No one will turn up. We don't get together when it comes to things that put us forward. People will criticize everything. And then the environment here doesn't favor any business person. Number one, the taxes are really high, especially we that are in the creative industry. You get taxes. Just bringing this microphone, someone will tax you and you're like, hello? It's in this nation where we have double taxation. But in the principles of taxation, taxes can never be beyond.
It's a percentage of.
It's a percentage of. We don't have enterprises that lift us as young business people. Maybe incentives, like government incentives. For example, now I employ over 50 people. There should be an incentive. Like, Chris, as government, you can come to Post Bank. I think it's the government bank over. We are giving you like 100 million. You'll pay in 10 years.
And this is to what? You want to grow the business?
The business.
Oh, okay.
You get. So that these kids I work with also, I can give them like 5 million as well to get their lives better.
Want to hear in the final part about, your life, because it can't all be about work and looking at the taxes and the bottom line. But what's your fourth song choice at this point?
There is a song called Night Nurse, Gregory Isaac. Night Nurse. I just
reggae.
I just love that when you need that person deep in the night and you're like, everyone needs a night nurse.
You believe so?
Everyone needs.
People who say they're okay.
Are you lying to yourself? You're lying to yourself. You need that person that will tell you it's okay even when it's not okay.
Try your best just to make it quick. Home attend to the sick. Cause there must be something she can do. This heart is broken in two. Tell her it's a case of emergency. There's a patient by the name of Gregory. Night nurse, only you alone can quench this thirst. My night nurse, oh gosh, oh the pain is getting worse. Wanna see no doubt. I need attendance from my nurse around the clock. Cause there's no prescription for me. She's the one, the only remedy. Night nurse, only you alone can quench this thirst. My night nurse, oh the pain is getting worse. I'm hurt by love. See no doubt. I need attendance from my nurse around the clock. But there's no prescription for me. She's the one, the only remedy.
Desert Island Discs on Capital FM. Fresh hits for Uganda.
It's Desert Island Discs. In our final part, I have Chris GALUKANDE of X Events. The company's been around for how long?
6 now.
6 years now. And you do audio, video,
Yes.
production, events, and photography.
Photography.
Yes. Is this for any event, wedding, big, small?
Basically, we are focusing on weddings, introduction, pre-injury giveaways.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to now talk about the song that we just listened to, Night Nurse. And you said everyone needs someone. Do you have someone?
Of course.
Or have you kissed many, many frogs and decided, let me just stay in the pond eventually?
No, I have a night nurse. You must have that person that, controls you a little bit.
Was it an easy journey to get to the person?
I got someone because I was totally left alone on earth.
Wow.
So I was left alone, no parents, no sisters, I was alone.
So you said, please.
So I was in a washroom, I was seated, and I'm like, but hey, if I get a problem, who's there for me?
Who's going to take care of me?
So I had to get someone. Yeah. And we are there.
Is that a good reason to get someone?
The Bible talks about companionship.
And that's what you needed.
That is the main concept of marriage. You married woman. When they're telling you vows, Paul says in his letter, never marry for your body needs, excitement. It should be companionship.
Yeah.
That is the main point.
Because they always say that even when you grow old, the biggest net you will look back on is the fact that I have my person. These
kids will go, will stay. You get those beautiful body looks will change. But the companionship, Muntu wange, she's there, he's there. Someone you feel solace in. That is it.
And this is the other person we're talking about when we came back in excitement. Nasigala.
That one left. That one couldn't
manage your madness.
Manage my madness. I was young, so life hit me here and there. I went, kissed many frogs.
Yeah.
Then I was like, okay.
Eventually.
In a man's life, there comes a point. I have my friend called Penny. She was like, there comes a time when men need to settle. Men get to a point when they need a woman. And there comes a time in life when you're just living.
How do we explain the ones who are still living in their 50s?
They should just live. It's after 60, that is when you hear someone calling their women mama. That love is genuine.
That's now the companionship.
That is the companionship. Exactly.
You make a lot of sense. If you were to look back at your journey, of course it's not saying many years, but the young people who are listening who like to ask, where do I start? You, for somebody, and I want the perspective of someone who's very free in life, what would you tell them? They're just looking at life and saying, what do I like? What is my passion? What's my strength? The one, so volachi,
Someone there, especially if you don't know what you want, you don't even have enough money to
start,
but you want to start maybe a business, right? First, understand what you want.
Right.
Have passion. Go into something you're passionate about. Flavia, you've been in media for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Media in Uganda doesn't really pay much, but you've stood the test of time, and eventually you've strained and widened your arms
diversified.
From there,
you
get. People should do things they're passionate about. With passion, even if things are not moving well, you can stand
still go
the storm. But if you're into something you don't like, just because they told you now salons are making money, if things go berserk, you won't stand. Do something you feel you really have passion about. Be passionate about. There you'll stand. Even the bad days. Now, when time really goes up here and there, even if times hit hard. So eventually, you'll start straining your arms. You get... Flavia, you're in radio, then tomorrow you'll be like, let me start a cake
all the answers came while I was here. Yeah.
You get. But if you didn't love this thing, you'd be meandering here and there. So they should just be passionate about what they want. Focus. 10 years from now, your kids will see 1,000 goats. You get.
And someone always says, but 10 years is too far. I'm like, but today we're in the 10 years we said is too far.
Too far.
COVID was 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago. Can you imagine that?
So people should look at 10 years. There are people that are dealing into eucalyptus, these electricity poles. Me, I can never go into that business.
You have to be patient.
I can never. Smell you selling matchbox sticks. I can never. But if you're passionate about it, Murwana, the late Morana has made us look like fools. Yeah, because people were visionary.
Yeah.
Because they loved farming. Now, when you talk at like brands at Jessa, now look at Lato.
Yeah.
We all knew Nido from childhood. Lato is on the market. When the kids came on ground, they added value to his project. Now it's one of the biggest enterprises in this nation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have children?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I do. Beautiful ones.
Okay. What kind of dad do you think you are? I'm asking that from a perspective of, I was told that we all parent from our traumas, the good and the bad, what we used to fear. To do this. Or
I believe I'm a free dad.
Okay.
I'm a very free dad. I love seeing these kids grow and they love God. Yeah, because I'm a born again. I love God with all my heart because He has taken me through things I don't know and how I even got where I am. I cannot even explain some things.
Yeah.
As long as a kid fears God, self-esteem. I love a kid who will ask you, why are you telling me to go away? That here in Uganda, people call Kamanyiro, Manataina and Pisa. But Flavia, I love my kid telling you, Mom, why are you telling me to go to bed? That makes me happy.
The confidence.
So I'm that kind of dad but I don't have much time for the little ones.
Right.
I don't really have much time, and it's one of those bad sides as a dad because of the business. But then I'm like, I have nothing to do. I have to really concentrate on business. I provide what I can. The little time I get,
you're there.
I'm there. The little, I shouldn't say I'm really, really much of this that is present. But I make sure. My mom told me, when you're paying school fees, don't first go to the bank. Make sure this guy sees the money. They first count the money in front of their faces. I'm paying for you 5 million. So that they recall this, what it was. It was.
That's something.
Don't automatic that money goes to the bank, to the school. I bring cash. For you, how much? Can you do the math for me? Count that money. How much is it? I'm paying for you 5 million. Do you know what I can get in 5 million? I can buy myself a good car. But I'm paying for your school fees.
So it's almost like to show them why you're away, why you're working.
Why I'm working. Okay, and for them to appreciate. Women have a tendency of telling these guys, these babies, your father was not there. you get. Women have that
But
style.
was he?
Men are there in the backgrounds.
Okay.
Especially single mothers out there. Some mothers are supported.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Some mothers are supported, but they'll never stand and say that, you know what?
I'm supported.
Yes. Maybe some dads might be and not okay financially, but he gets the 10, the 100,000
and he brings.
And he brings. Yes, the kid is paying 2 million. The guy brings 200. It's what he can afford.
The 200 is almost 100% of his. Yes, I know what you're saying.
So mothers should really tell the kids that your dad is not okay. And then avoid.
But he's doing his best.
Yes. Okay. And for the sake of the next generation, if you have issues like parents, please, to the listeners, try as much as you can. Me, I hate my dad as a kid, but as a man now, my dad was a very good dad.
Wow.
Because you see life and be like, this man was just painted a bad picture. Maybe he had his own issues because
reasons.
Yeah. Even me right now, there's things I've failed.
That's different.
You get. So those boys,
like maybe even if me as a dad I'm failing, maybe even him
failed.
Wow.
Yes.
Things you only learn full circle when you've
grown and you start, giving people.
What they say, ojakula. It's honestly been a pleasure. You can't even feel the 1 hour has gone by. But I want to hear your final song choice as you send us off.
My fine song is Big Boys Don't Cry by Lucky Dube. Big Boys Don't Cry.
But there's therapy in tears.
That song, when you listen to that song, it says Big Boys Don't Cry, but sometimes I cry.
Yeah.
What Philip Lucky Dube is saying, when you look at me, you might think I'm too strong, but I am
even
not.
I break down.
Yeah. When people see us, seeing our businesses up there, seeing us fly, when we put in our shoes, we are in the worst place you can ever imagine. CEOs you see there don't sleep. These Flavias you hear on air come here at 4 a.m. leaving their matrimonial beds. You come here, you smile. Not
the work it takes.
You get, people will see you, Flavia, and they're like, Flavia's
The results look good. Yeah.
But behind.
Yeah.
So big boys don't cry, but sometimes we cry.
What a good one to end us off. Chris Galukande, it's been a pleasure hearing your story here on Desert Island This. In 30 years to come, when the story is even more bigger and you've done greater things, we look forward to hearing that as well. Yeah. And that's it for Desert Island Disc. Anywhere you get podcasts, you can go and catch up on all the past shows. Just look for Capital FM Uganda. Good night.
Desert Island Discs with Flavia on Capital FM. Fresh hits for Uganda.